Alright, I figured I'd make another video before I really get pissed off here, but let me kind of show you what it's all going on here. Get a view of there. I used a Sawzall and cut down this whole panel here, but this is where I really screwed up. I didn't leave the flange for the inside, so what I should have done, and believe me, it ain't gonna happen again on the other side. Cut a little more over to the driver's side, to the left, this way on this panel, and that way you'll leave that lip there, and then the spot welds you can cut out. You can kind of peel that away. That way you have something to butt up against to weld that new panel on. And that's once again, that's my fault. I kept what I could there, but I was just in a hurry with the Sawzall and went a little crazy on the bottom there. But learned from my mistakes. And as I started going down here, this piece right here, this panel back behind the rear tire, I think I'm going to have to replace that as well. It's pretty rusted, or either weld a new outside piece on there. But here's where I'm running into, this is kind of a pain in the ass, and all these welds, and you will need a pry bar, believe me. I've had to pop even where you drill all these out. You're still going to have a lot of crap and crud in here. But here's the kick panel up here. Now I took the dash loose, and there is some more spot welds. So I didn't order the panel yet, but from what I'm seeing is that this whole piece slides in, this little ear, if you can see, kind of up in there. But the new panel is going to have the new piece, and I don't know. I got to get the new panel, but cutting around the cowl is the same thing. You got to be careful. This floor bracket here, I zipped it through. I had so much rust on the outside of the panel here, if you can see, that I just cut all the way off with the Sawzall. And then with that new panel, if the bracing's going there, I can obviously grind that down. And hell, believe me, that's a lot easier than that. But here's where I'm at now. This panel is about ready to give way on the Jeep. Right up here past the dimmer switch, there's some more spot welds I'm finding up in here that I never saw from the outside. And believe me, I looked, I tried everything. So there's more spot welds than you can imagine on this thing. But let me walk around here. I'll show you the front view here. It's almost like a door. You can just open and shut the damn thing. But right up in here, that seam right below the Jeep, you know, that floor is going to come down like so. And I cut right here is where I was having a hell of a time. Up in here, cutting, there were some more spot welds that I never saw. Here's another one. And right now I'm right up in this area, and this is where it's giving me the most trouble to free this panel away from the body side. But I'll keep you posted, and I'm going to put another video on. Hopefully I can tackle this and maybe help another couple people out by posting this, because I couldn't find a really good one. I've seen people doing patch panels, but I mean really trying to do it right and put a whole new body side on versus changing the tub out for $5,000, which I don't have the money for, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't either. But I'll post another video as soon as I do it. But yeah, take that dash loose. And the reason too to take that dash loose is if you want to use a Sawzall to zip into that weld right here, believe me, it's a lot easier. And you take that park brake and just kind of set it aside up on the pedals over here. And that way you don't have to really screw with all that wiring either. It just all comes off in one piece. You can pull it out of the way. And this really depends too on what kind of restoration you're doing. If you're going to be taking apart everything, obviously you can take all that off beforehand and cut this out and set the body on sawhorses. But I don't know at this point if I'm going to do a whole body off. Hell, the work I'm doing, it should be a body off for the amount of time it takes to do this. But that's a bunch of BS in the magazine article where it said a few hours to do this, or maybe a day or a weekend is what they were saying. But if you're like me and work all the time, you get every hour you can in on this, and it might involve all your weekends, but if you enjoy it, more power to you. All right, tubers.